summer I had the opportunity to go overseas to Europe with OneVoice.
OneVoice is our university gospel choir, and this year we decided to take a group from the choir on an MIS trip to Europe.
Well, we took 22 people total on this MIS trip, so it was a good-sized group.
We decided to do a tour because we couldn't land on a specific location. We toured 6 countries.
It was the first time MIS has ever done a multi-country mission trip.
With the intention of using gospel music, which is popular there, to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ.
While we were overseas in the different cities, we did a lot of street ministry. So we would go and stand anywhere we could where there was a spot where we could kind of set up and just start singing. And I was always amazed with the amount of people that would stop and just listen to us and clap along with us and sing along with the songs that they knew.
It's funny because a lot of people love gospel music there, but they don't understand the lyrics. They don't know what exactly you're singing about.
In Europe, we had to be intentional about our walks with Christ because we had to go through the language barrier. So we knew that people wouldn't necessarily understand all of the words of the songs we sang. We knew that when we tried to communicate the gospel, they wouldn't necessarily understand what we were saying.
In France, one of the coolest experiences of the trip for me was getting to sit down with a Romanian lady outside of our hotel. She was begging on the streets. I got a piece of paper and started drawing stick figures to communicate that I loved her and that I was there for her, and she started crying and she understood that we loved her and we didn't even know her.
The joy of the Lord is something that does not have to be explained through language. People should be able to see it just through the way that you live, through the way that you interact with them, through the way that you show the love of Christ.
Before we actually went overseas, Justin sat us down and we had a team meeting and talked about what it means to go overseas and to do missions. And I just remember him very directly telling us that we need to be harvest focused, and that what it means to be harvest focused isn't just to go in and plant seeds. You're there to see people come to Jesus.
Our theme verse for this trip was taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 9, and it says, "Then he said to his disciples, 'The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest.'"
We were there to see people come to Jesus, not just to plant seeds.
We had a lot of obstacles in preparation for this trip.
When they went to the rental place, they didn't have big enough vehicles for us, and they didn't have enough of them.
Even a week before we left, we were asking the question, should we really be doing this trip?
And before we knew it, we saw God bring 5 vehicles to us for us to use that were big enough for our entire team and all of our luggage.
This trip really taught us to trust God in everything, to depend on him only, and to let him work out all of our obstacles.
I didn't realize till we got there how lost the continent of Europe is. You think the world's a small place when you're just driving around the United States, but you get there and you realize that there are actually 6 billion people in the world, that it's a huge place, and that the majority of them don't know Christ. It was really great to be able to use our music as a bridge to connect with these people overseas. Our ministry there was a huge impact. I think we impacted a lot of people. People loved our music, people loved us, and I think we showed them Christ a lot, but it's just a drop in the bucket compared to the entire continent and how few people there know Jesus. And it's our job to go and tell them about him. These people desperately need Christ.
We got to see 15 people come to know Jesus Christ over the course of our trip.
It reminded me the body of Christ is not limited to America only. It is on fire and powerful, and God is doing some amazing things, and it's cool to know we're a family. Even across the ocean, we're a family.
God really worked through us on this trip, and I'm so excited about the possible opportunity of going back and continuing the work there that we started.